Good day, everyone. My name is MC Prince Otre, and I'm just here to walk you through the project. This is a student management system developed in Java using Java FX for the graphical user interface and SQLite as the backend database. So the video is approximately 10 minutes long and serves as a full demonstration of both the source code and architecture and the running application. So in the olden days, normally records are being taken with a paper document, and sometimes when it rains or maybe something of a sort occurs, they lose the database. So this one is to make the storing of the database permanent and to be able to retrieve anytime, anywhere, the database of the student. So like I said earlier, it's a school management system. It has the idea. There's the idea over there. We have the MVN, we have the data, the SRC, the main, the Java, we have the domain, the program stats, the student repository, we have the SQLite student repository, we have the services as stated there. So the video being played is revealing the well-structured Marvin or Javan project under the package school management system. Now the project follows a clean layered architecture, and I'm taking you through quickly. We have the main. The main is the entire thing. It talks about the entire architectural design of the school management database system, and we have as you can see, the codings. We have the coding over there. So it's just inputting the details required to ensure a proper and a well-structured school management database, so that accessing it will be easier and getting it will also be more easier, not complicated but very easy. So we have the domain. We have the domain layer. It contains the student model, and then the program starts class is full of the student model, and then the stats of the class. So the GPAs, the various things that is acquired by each student. That is where the domain is. So the domain is basically handling every single one of the details and records taken by the administration for each class. Now we have the program start. So the program start also talk about the individual programs and all of that. We have the repository layer. The repository layer and the SQLite student repository handle all database operations. So the ins and outs of the database relies entirely on the repository and the SQLite. We also have the service layer. The service layer acts as the business logic bridge between the user interface and then the database. That's for the service layer. It acts as the business logic bridge between the user interface and then the entire database. And we also have the utility layer. The utility layer is a database helper that manages the SQLite connections. So when you want to have a proper connection of the SQLite, it is the utility layer that handles that database and becomes a database helper to manage the connection in the SQLite. Yes, so that is the the utility layer. All right, so let's go to the report controller. The report controller is also responsible for giving you access, or for giving you access to the various report of the individual students of the class. So that is for that one. Now let's go to the student records table, the student management. So this is the student records table. So clicking the student button opens a full data table showing each student ID, full name, program, the level, GPA, email, and then the phone number. It is loaded directly from the SQLite database with a data loaded successfully confirmation message. So as you can see, that's the total students 20, active students 18. We have the average GPA, that's 3.32. We have inactive students, that is 2. So this is just to demonstrate or to give you an idea of the various database of the individual student or the students. So like I said, when you click the student, it gives you access to everything. So each of the details you need, when you click any of the buttons below, the student report, import and export, when you click it, you get the entire thing. So if you check the student, we tap on the student, and then we've now had access to see the details of the student. We've seen the details of the student. So quickly, let's just run through. So this is how it looks like. This is how the interface looks like when you tap the student. This is how the interface is like. It is providing a clearly labeled add. You can see a clearly labeled add, edit and delete buttons. The add student controller code is shown to handle form fields for ID, name, GPA, email, phone, program via a combo box, and then date with both insert and edit modes supported using the is edit mode boolean flag. So that is how it is. We also have the import functionality. Previously it was shown. It is a file browser. It is a file browser dialog demonstrated, allowing student data to be imported via CSV files, a very practical feature for bulk data entry. So this is still on the report. I just want to give you a detailing of it so we can see the names, the ranks, you can see the names, the GPAs, you can see the programs. We can see the programs. Jane Foster, Tony with their individual thing. So it is the import. This is what I was talking about. Sorry, I think I was supposed to go there for you to have a proper understanding. So the import functionality opens a file browser dialog, like I said initially, allowing student data to be imported via CSV files. A very practical feature for bulk data entry. So this one, you have to just enter the informations you need in a large quantity, and then you are good to go. You are good to go. So the export, this is the export. The export, you can see right there under the 2 inactive students. The export is is this is a the system also supports exporting student data, making it easy to share or backup records. That's for the export. That's for the export. And then the settings, the setting button is present, and when it is clicked, a dialog confirms settings will be updated soon, showing an awareness of future scalability. That means that in the course of time, if you want to make certain changes, when you go to the settings, you'll be able to make those changes to make your work more effective and to give clarity to the database. So that is all about the student management system. And the reason why we use this student management system instead of the paperwork is because it is how thoughtfully it is built. Why that? Because it uses a real database integration, that's the SQLite, not just in memory arrays. And then the code applies OOP principles, encapsulations, abstractions through interfaces. That's the student repository. And then the user interface is user friendly. A non-technical administrator could just operate it without training. And then the import and export functionality shows awareness of real world use cases in schools and institutions. So you can see how effective it is. And then the project structure is professional enough to be deployed in an actual academic institution. So this is a complete functional and then a well architected desktop application that demonstrates strong command of JavaFX, database management, and then software design. Yes, so this is just a summary and how wonderful the work is. Thank you, sir.